Welcome back to the channel. That's right, we've got Luke Cage in the Scorching tier. Now, I know people are starting to talk about him a little more, and especially I think it's rising to prominence because we got big, bad, main, evil Serpent, who he really is. And Luke is actually a great counter. We're going to go over everything you need to know. We'll cover Recoil, Friendly, Synergies, all that stuff, the Awakened ability, how to play him, and then at the end, we'll take a look at why he is where he is on the tier list. Let's jump into this. We're going to watch this fight against Serpent. I know some of you are like, hey, this is the Eat Crow meta, and Science Champions have... Totally get it. Watch this though. Watch how little there is the Fury on. Keep in mind, this is a rank 3 Serpent here. And then also remember, like we've shown this to you in Vega Battlegrounds Championship, all kinds of places. Luke Cage can just do this. I'm going to have it running because it's a great showcase of what Luke can do. We're going to talk about him a little bit here, right? He's bleed immune. He's tanky as it gets. Tremendous power control, ability accuracy reduction. Something to point out is it's not just offensive, it's just not defensive. It is ability accuracy, general, right? Absolute damage machine. You can see the Furies are about to fall off, and there will be no more Furies the rest of this. I made sure, right? And thank you to none other than Jaeger from the MCoC Illuminati, who's been a big Luke Cage fan, but also for sharing this fight. You're about to see the signature ability come into play here as well. He also gains a massive attack rating increase for each exhaustion that's up. We're going to go over the exhaustions, but I'll explain that right now. At rank 3, the Luke Cage gains 1,785.9 attack rating for each unique debuff on. So the unique ones, and it's not personal, right? Like I was on DLL stream just now. FinTech was pointing out how great Mr. Fantastic can be to run along with Luke Cage. And then for each non-unique debuff, he's getting 892. Okay, so hopefully you're starting to get a little idea like how great this guy is. You just saw that against Serpent. That was a rank 3 Serpent, and Luke just cancels out his immortality phase. So we're going to go over a little bit more, kind of how to play him, that kind of stuff. Let's jump into this now here, okay? So good. I was like, okay, this is Relevant Legends Juggernaut. This is a really just good opportunity to talk about it. One of the things you're seeing me do is I'm using my light attack as much as possible, even after the parry stun. The reason for that is because exhaustions come on light attacks. They start off with an 80% chance to land, and then I think for each one on, there's a reduced 5% chance that is flat. So, you know, it does get a little harder to stack them as you're going, but there you go. You can see how quickly we are getting them up. This is also reducing the crit damage of the champion that has the debuffs on. It is also reducing ability power rate. This is part of why he was so good for Serpent, and kind of just plays into that thing that science can do with ability power, right? Each one is going to reduce ability power rate by 25%, and you can get up to 6 of these as far as reducing the ability power. The other thing, this is going too fast. Luke's damage is too good. I can't get this all out. But anytime he has 6 exhaustions up, he gets the Sunder, which is also decreasing the crit resistance of the defender by 100%. Again, that's why you saw us being able to crit Serpent, or Jaeger critting Serpent as much as he did. And then the heavy lands that debilitate, which is really nice. You saw Jaeger working that in. You're going to see me working that in too. And that is going to increase the duration of newly applied debuffs by 35% for Luke. So that's a really nice thing to keep your eye on. When we're going to look at the Serpent fight again, will help us kind of go over everything again. Make sure once we can put it all together. And then the exhaustion and trauma debuffs. Trauma is off the SP3, are paused on Luke specials, and then for 3 seconds after the opponent specials. So let's now watch this. We kind of have an idea on what we're doing here. You're going to see me. This is a rank 2 Luke Cage. We are going up against Mephisto here, and so I'm going to Shazam Heavy. Great. Now we've got the debilitate up, remember, and that's going to make all debuffs last 35% longer, all newly applied ones. So here we are. We're going to go in, and we should just start landing our lights. I'm at this point, this is a rank 2 Luke, and this is me playing. I'm not quite as certain on how to play him. So you're going to see some hesitation and things from me, but we are stacking our lights. You can see we now have the Sunder up. So the crit resistance, I don't know what Mephisto's native crit resistance is, but it's 0. If there was any, landed my heavy to get the debilitate up, and then I'm going to throw my SP2 right now, and you're going to see we just lost 5 exhaustion, and here's why. The SP2 consumes 5 exhaustion, or up to 5 exhaustion, to inflict a concussion. Here's where this gets really spicy. For each debuff removed, right, for each basic exhaustion removed, you reduce the ability accuracy by 15%. So the strength of the concussion is due to the amount of debuffs removed. We had, 9, I believe, exhaustions. They removed 5. And then against Mystic champions, you actually apply a second concussion. So we have his ability actually reduced by well over 100%. I think you're seeing why he's good for Serpent here. Let's keep going. Now, remember that second concussion, though, is only against Mystics, okay? Off of a single SP2. We've now gone in. We're able to stack our exhaustions, again, very, very quickly. We've now got the Asunder up. And if we can get this Mephisto down in time, he won't even trigger his heal. So we've now thrown the SP1. We'll stop it very quickly. Each hit has a burst of physical damage if concussion is active. So Luke is often a champion where you actually want to go SP2 first, then come back for the SP1. If a concussion is active, you're going to inflict a 2.5-second stun. And then this does have reduced duration, I think by 50% for each time you trigger it, right? They're removing the ability to just stun lock a champion. Honestly, with how great Luke is, I am more than fine with that removal. So we should get that stun there, and then we can go back in. I think I didn't take advantage of it that great. You can see how long these debuffs are lasting. It really would have been good if I had gotten another debilitate in there. But because I know how hard Luke's hitting, you saw that for 18,000, 11,000, we completely destroy that Mephisto. His heal just never kicks in. Get a really nice score there. Nice positive cap salutes there from my opponent. With better play, that can go even faster. And again, that was a rank 2 Luke Cage. All right. So hopefully you've got it. Hopefully you've put it all together. And then I'm going to quickly talk about the Awakened ability because it really shows up in this fight in particular. You can see the aggression that's going with. It's basically, it is going to apply that indestructible, right? Which is part of why I want Luke Awakened so bad. So here we go. Jaeger has thrown the heavy. He's gotten the Sunder up, and he's doing everything he can to land as many light attacks as he can because that's going to get those exhaustions up. And you're going to see if and when Serpent's power gain kicks in, you're going to see how well this helps mitigate that, right? You see this, he's got the power gain right now, and you see the bar is like barely moving, right? When you fight Serpent, you typically want someone that's going to help you control the power. Without doing that, it's like you don't fight Hyperion with someone who doesn't have power gain. So just keep this in mind, right? And this is the versatility of Luke. Is he a nuke as fast as Silk? No, but the massive versatility, the utility that comes along with this guy, it's just great. So Jaeger has thrown a single SP2. He's got up a concussion. Now, this is important because remember, Serpent is not a Mystic champion. So he had to actually throw 2 SP2s to can get the concussion up because he had both of them as potent as they could possibly be. He now has over that 100% ability accuracy reduction, which Jaeger's told me, he's like, it's never failed me against Serpent. We saw FinTech do this in the VBC, of course, too, when it was not this meta. And just absolutely destroyed. And I believe I misspoke. It may have been this meta. So, but that's really not the key to it. And that's why I like the Awakened ability. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Awakened ability, and let's go ahead and take a look at the synergies and talk about potential relics. All right, we showed off Luke's Awakened ability. I badly want my Luke Awakened. I thought I wouldn't take him to rank 3 until I did have him, but he's just so powerful. He's so good. I enjoy playing him. His animations fit his playstyle with those quick lights so well. But you also saw then Jaeger really take advantage of it, right? It opens up a whole nother avenue of play, similar to what I've shown like with Wolverine Weapon X on like, you're okay, you can play this super aggressive style. But you can see it grants that indestructible passive for 1.5 to 4 seconds. He's not someone I would put 6 stones into, but I will not be upset as I continue to get that, right? Because the longer it goes, the better, especially if like a debuff applies or something like that. I think it's just good. And then also you can see it's working for like being a bit more risky with your intercepts or things like that. It's just aggressive play style. After it expires, the ability goes on cooldown for 60 to 30 seconds. I don't know. I wouldn't put 6 stones in for that. I'm sure there's scenarios where that could come up or something like in a longer fight or whatever, but I don't think that's why you're using Luke Cage to begin with. That's my theory now, okay? And then while his indestructible is not on cooldown, Luke gains this really nice block proficiency. Obviously great. You can see he's got the really high block proficiency already as it is. But, hey, I'm not going to be upset about that. And then we will very quickly show, he's got a lot of synergy partners. A lot of these are like older champions who have been buffed and things like that. The one I will call out, because this was the one that we all kind of kept talking about. Well, actually, there's one that's not bad. This one here with the champion. This looks pretty interesting. I'll be honest, I have not played it myself, but plus 35% chance to inflict debuffs, because remember, there's that flat decrease for every exhaustion that you are placing. So this could be really helpful for continuing to do it. But you can never dash back or anything like that. I don't know. Just seems kind of interesting. Here was the one that this appealed to me, and these are like good champions anyway, especially if they come out or they're at a high enough variety for you to be using them, star variety. And then this one with Jessica Jones, right? Luke's ability actually for each exhaustion inflicted by light attacks is increased. Ability actually for personal exhaustion inflicted by light attacks is increased by 50% flat. You can see, again, helping you get those exhaustions going, helping you get those debuffs going, getting more attack per unique debuff, and then also your duplicate debuffs too. Just really helping ramp you up. It's great. And then she's also part of the romance synergy. So you get your combat power rate going again, get your specials going, get those concussions going, the SP1 stun, or maybe you want to get all the way to SP3 for that trauma that we talked about. And then as far as the relics are concerned, I for the most part have been running the cap one. It's really nice, but there is also thought, and FinTech did call this out in the stream that I was watching of DLs. You could potentially use the Spider-Man 2099 one for that extra debuff, right? We talked about each unique debuff is applying, that's applied, gives you these massive attack ratings. It's kind of similar, thinking about bringing him along with the pre-fights from Mr. Fantastic. Me, I for the most part just run the Cap America, but if that's just the way my like roster is worked out, I'll run the Spider-Man 2099. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the tier list and see where we exactly have them placed and why we do. Okay, as it stands on September 1st of 2024, and I do the date because I know people have been watching this hopefully over a series of years. We update this tier list every month. You can see this is the 44th edition that we put out in August. This is where Luke is at. This is how powerful he is. Remember, we don't even rank champions that, in our opinion, like, there's really just not a lot of use for. He's phenomenal, and I very much, and I already took this to Illuminati literally today, the day of making it. It's like, in making this video and just playing him more, I feel like we really could add just 2 more points to him. One in Battlegrounds, with him being a powerful Serpent counter. That's making you that much more wanting to bring him in, because as you saw, he's great for Mephisto. I will be doing actually a rank 3 showcase very, very soon that hopefully you've seen. And he's going to be dominating a lot of Mystics. Mystics are phenomenal defenders in Battlegrounds, Mystic Dispersion, those sorts of things. So, and then remember, he does have the bleed immunity as well. He's handling the ability power rate, has the Sunder debuff. He's just a phenomenal champion. And that's also could very easily increase his meta score and then also just his budget score. With just 2 more points, he actually moves to tier above all. And honestly, I think it makes sense. That's something that we'll address in the September update for this. And then, of course, we're going to update this every single month for the duration of having a channel on MCoC. So you can always make sure you check back in to see as we keep an eye on the meta, the defenders, what the game is asking us, and those sorts of things, because that's a big part of where a champion ends up as far as their ranking on here. But right now, I do not see him moving down at any time in the future. In fact, I think he's actually only becoming more valuable for the sort of challenges that MCoC is throwing at us through defenders and nodes and things like that. I don't know. I don't want to guarantee it. I think he's going to be tier above all, though, when we do the September tier list. As usual, though, let me know what we think we got right. Let me know what we think we got wrong. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.